Happy Thursday. I hope you all are having an amazing day. You can like and subscribe this video from below, but I wanted to share something with you about self-care. So I absolutely need you to be pouring in yourself. And so sometimes we take that saying lightly. And so we need to be pouring into ourselves that our cup is able to run over. And if your cup is filled and is running over, it doesn't feel like you're giving so much. And so many times we're giving people our energy, our ideas, our advice, and we're giving them so much. And we have to sit back and think, well, what did I give myself today? So your self-care is absolutely important because you want to fill your cup up. So I'll give you an example. Like back in the day, I was operating in a space where I was pouring the little bit that I had in my cup out to other people, and so I was drained. So I had to master the skill of maintaining my peace and maintaining my energy and understanding to give to myself. So I would give to people all around me, everybody, family members, my children, my husband, and I would honestly have an empty cup, and then I would be mad at them because of all that I gave to them. And I would sit back and I would say, who's going to give to me? And so that's absolutely an inside job, and we have to be mindful of giving to ourselves daily, loving ourselves daily, taking care of ourselves daily. Because as I began to heal myself, I noticed that I was healing my friend relationships, my family, my sisterhood relationship. And as we take place in healing, we are examples for the people who are around us. And so the most important thing a part of this self-care journey is basically evolving to help ourselves to grow, because whether we're dissatisfied or not, I think a lot of that stems from not being happy. Why are you not happy? It's because you didn't accomplish your goals, or you aren't satisfied with yourself and you haven't met the expectation. So how can we meet the expectation? So in our program, a lot of what we've been doing is helping our clients deal with their inner child. Because I went to therapy, I did all these things, and a lot of things come up for you when you are pushing through your feelings. So I learned to not push through my feelings, because when I pushed through my feelings, I wasn't acknowledging them. And so the frustration would build up from not acknowledging them, and I would explode. And that would explode into different areas of my life, relationships, conversations, and interactions. So the huge part of my inner work and my self-care process is journaling. And so you want to absolutely journal because your voice deserves to be heard. Your feelings deserve to be expressed. It's important for you to journal, to listen to yourself, to write, to get the feelings out. But it's also a beautiful thing because I've been journaling my whole life. So I can go back to journals. My mother keeps my journals and they read them and they laugh at them. And they like, oh, you told the truth about this, but you didn't tell the truth about that. And it's so funny. But I allow them that space so they can grow and heal from my journals and also experience the person that I evolved into. And so I have experienced burnout. I have experienced depression. And so by being healed now, but constantly healing every day, I allow my family members to have access to those journals so they can see where I was, what I was feeling, how their interactions with me contributed to it. So journaling is important because your voice deserves to be heard, and you can write and write. And so I find myself writing 7 and 8 and 9, 10 pages on a topic that I absolutely feel passionate about, and things that deeply are rooted in me and that are bothering me. And so the next thing that is important for me, but I don't get to do it every day, is a daily walk. So sometimes I get stuck in the house. I don't really like to socialize. I would say that I'm an extrovert, but as well as an introvert. But now on the self-care journey, I'm more of an introvert than I was an extrovert, because I deserve to have my time. My time is valuable. What I do is not dictated by the people surrounded around me. So the daily walk is amazing. It makes me feel absolutely well. And I get to go out and listen to the birds. Sometimes I might walk near a deer. And I get to see the changes in the season, the leaves and all of that stuff. But it's good to get the fresh air. The next thing is, if you follow my Instagram at Infinite Healing Farmhouse, not Infinite Healing Farmhouse, but that's one of my pages for the vegan journey. But Earthly Custom Creations, you'll always hear me say, I have to dance. So I have to throw that ass in a circle. And why throw that ass in a circle? It's because I feel so much stiffness in my hips. So we lay down all day and we don't really get to wake up our spinal cord. So when I'm throwing my ass in a circle, I'm tapping into my spinal cord and feeling the vibration and allowing my body to fully move and connect. And it brings me so much joy. And I also practice releasing the stress and the tension from my hips from sitting down all day. So absolutely dance. Now, I'm from Washington, D.C. I love go-go music. I love Backyard. I love Essence. I love vibe bands. So I'll put a lot of go-go on to dance. And I'll sometimes when I'm just in the house, I'll put on my little flashing light and I'll have a whole go-go session and get a whole lot of stuff done. The next thing is I like Afro beats. You know, I love playing the drum. I love African dance. And so just find what you like and get into it. And so I actually have a best friend who lives in New York. And so we have virtual dance days where we just party. And it's such a huge release and it's also a good workout. The next thing is feed your inner child. And I was talking about that. So I'm an artist. And so as an adult, I'm 34 years old, but I always want to tap into what are the things that I wanted my mother to do with me? What are the things that absolutely bring me joy? What are the things that heal me and feed my soul? And so in feeding my inner child, I love drawing. I love painting. I love sewing. I love creating t-shirts. I love doing artwork. And I just love doing anything, making jewelry. Anything that can absolutely make me smile and have my inner child like, I'm so happy. Now, the key to that is I'm a mother. And so when we're parenting, we have to realize that a lot of our childhood traumas will come up when you're raising children. And it is start for women. Like, I was desensitized to my feminine energy when I first became a mother. And I was desensitized to it even though I had been married for probably like 5 years before I started having children, and in a relationship probably maybe 10 years before I started having children. So it just became a lot when I had the children, because those feelings and those things that I went through with my parents, they all start coming up to the surface. So my cup started, when we talk about filling up our cup, I wasn't filling my cup up with the good stuff. So the feelings and the anger and the emotion and the disappointment and most of all the hurt and the abandonment issues that came from my parents having to work or be involved in their different organizations came up when I started parenting. And so all of these things that I just told you about feeding the inner child is important, because then it allows you to connect with your own children. You're able to create, you're able to craft, you're able to smile, you're able to laugh. But we want to make sure that we're being present with our children in the present moment. And so it's important for me to sit down with them around a fire. It's important for me to create art with them. It's important for me to garden with them. All of these things are important because this will matter. And so feeding your inner child, you have two choices when you have children. You can either ignore what they want and what they desire, most of all, which is your attention. And you can do it because your inner child is lacking and you felt like you weren't giving those things and you're hurting. And so why should you give your child these things because they weren't given to you? Or you can give your child all the things that you wanted that wasn't given to you. And that can still be difficult. So feeding your inner child helps you succeed in that area. Excuse me. So the next thing is the meditation. Laying in the grass, staring at the clouds, staring at the clouds. Sorry, y'all, I had a visitor. I hate interruptions, but I'm going to go ahead and work through it, and I'm not going to edit this video, and I'm going to try to stay on topic. So, laying in the grass, just embracing the outdoors, finding some time to ground. So, basically, what you see me doing now is I'm recuperating from the external energy that I've received. So, the external energy, and many times, can be distracting. So, in your meditation, you want to remain focused. So, I do the 3 different types of sounds. I don't know what they're called right now, but I'll bring that back to you. But I sit in front of my fireplace and I meditate, and my children can talk to me and say whatever they want to me, but I won't respond because I'm trying to focus. I'm trying to tap into the energy. I'm trying to tap into my body. So these are some of the things that are absolutely important. But I love going into nature for meditation because a lot of the questions that you have are in nature. So I'll have all these questions. It might be a burden on my heart. I might feel discomforted, and I might go outside and I might see some water running around a rock, or the universe will absolutely answer your questions. So I am often in my meditations inspired by the wilderness, and that's why they call me the woman in the wilderness. You can follow my page on Instagram at the woman in the wilderness. And then the next thing is taking hot baths. You know, I take my hot baths, I do my herbal teas. Now, these emotions and these feelings and how we feel discomforted can very much be washed away. So when you're angry, it's good to take a hot or cold shower, preferably a cold one, because you can wash that energy off. If you notice, when you take a bath, you always feel relieved, you always feel good. Then you have to lotion up. It's like the freshness and the newness. So the hot baths for self-care is definitely important. So I put my herbal teas in there. You know, I do my tea tree oil. I light my candles. And the beautiful part is the association of appreciation for my body. Like, my body has worked so hard throughout this day. My mind has thought so many things, and my body is my temple. But it's also my car. Ka, that's an Egyptian word, and it's just like your car. So it's the means of transportation that you are using to get around this universe, this world, and travel and energy. So I use mango oil in the morning and throughout the day, but at nighttime I use the chamomile and lavender oil. So I'm all into my oils because I want to smell good. I want to feel good. I also make shea butters. And so before I go to bed, it is a priority in my self-care that I pamper myself, that I massage myself. I massage my feet. I speak grace and peace and appreciation into my body parts. So if you follow my journey and my story, you know that I had irritable bowel syndrome. And so when I took the vegan journey, I became healed. So the pleasure and the gratitude of being healed. So when I get out the hot bath, I massage myself down with the oils, and I just speak peace and understanding and appreciation into my body. But I also talk to my body to release all the pain, the anger, the frustration, and any illnesses that I may have in my body. So I want you all to figure out what self-care looks like to you. There are many other things that I do for self-care, but this is what I can do for myself. So I want you to think about what you can do for yourself. Yes, self-care, I go get my hair done. Well, no, I do my hair myself. But I also go to the spa. You know, I get my monthly massages or bi-monthly. And then I also go get my pedicure or my eyebrows arched. So those are things. But what happens when you can't go get those services, or COVID hits and people aren't able to service you? We want to be true, and especially as Africans practicing Kuja Chakalia, self-determination, to be determined to be serious about our self-care, our self-love, and healing, because we need to do for ourselves. And so what we do today will echo into eternity. So you can like and subscribe below. You can follow me at Earthly Custom Creations on Instagram. You can also follow me at The Woman in the Wilderness. You can also follow me at Infinite Healing Farmhouse. And you can also follow me at Uniquely Bella Couture. You can also go to my website at www.uniquelybellacouture.com, and you can purchase your shades, your bags, and your outfits. All right, have a good day, y'all.